Imagine a lonely human being, whether it's a boy or a girl. Imagine that person sitting in the corner of the room, alone, full of tears. It has been 5 days already since that heartbreaking moment when the love of his or her life didn't respond with the same feelings and rejected that person. But the sadness doesn't go away, and it seems that this hole of misery is inescapable. If you are watching this video, there is a high chance that you have experienced a similar moment in your life, or you are experiencing it right now. Today, I'm going to tell you why you must let go of that person who didn't have the same feelings as you, and instead of crying, what actions you should take. But before that, please take 2.57 seconds of your time to hit that like button and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. So now, let's move on to the video. The number one thing, the most important thing you must understand is that it is over. I know it is tough to do, but as soon as you fully understand it, it will be much easier. You see, a lot of people tend to think about one person for 6 months or even a year, with the hopes that they will come back into their life. But you see, the problem is that crying will not help. And when you are sobbing alone in your room, that person you can't stop thinking of spends its time partying, laughing or watching a movie without a single thought of you. So why bother and humiliate yourself? If that person wasn't able to love you for who you are, stop crying. Go out into the real world. From whatever geographical point you may be, there are thousands of people who can meet your criteria throughout the 50-kilometer radius. Crying alone will not help. Of course, it is useful at the beginning, but not more than a week. You must understand that it is enough, and you must go into the real world. And whenever you meet the right person, you will see that he or she is 10 times better and prettier than the one you were sobbing about alone in the bathroom. It is also extremely important to mention that everything happens for a reason. You may want to deny it, but perhaps that person just wasn't for you. Sure, everything looks perfect at first sight, and it is natural that you idolize that person. But if it ended up like this, then it means that either you are not ready and you must first learn something or change about yourself, or you're just better off without that person. So to give you an encouraging example, I have a close friend whose first love was unsuccessful. He idolized that person and could have done anything for her. But he was dumped. And even though 3 years have passed, he still sometimes remembers her. But just as I told him, if you looked into his life, you would see that after that heartbreak, he started going out into the world much more often. He met a lot of amazing people, boosted his confidence 10 times, and none of this would have happened if he had stayed with that person. Because that sad event in his life was the trigger and the encouragement to improve and change. I hope you have learned something new, or found encouragement to move on. Become stronger and improve yourself. Remember that you have worth, and never humiliate yourself by crying for months while the other person is enjoying him or herself. Believe me, he or she is not thinking of you, so get back up and stand strong. That is it for today. Leave a like if this video helped, and of course, subscribe. Thanks a lot and see you next time on The Everyday Developer.